Hey guys, welcome here. In this lecture we started to work with arrays. In this lecture we'll continue and I will show you some more examples. Let's start. Open your coding editors and as always navigate to playground.js. In the last lecture I showed you for loop and also I have introduced you for each function available on array objects. In this lecture, I will introduce you map function. Alright, so map function and a filter functions, because these two functions are really used a lot in JavaScript and with arrays. Alright, so let's start with the map function. Map function will iterate over your list of items and also will return item and will create a new array of items you are returning in each iteration. Alright, so let's see example first. So I will write here a person list as before. Alright, let's use here a map function and let's pass inside the callback function. So pass your function like this. It will iterate over our persons. So let's say I will call my argument here a person. Alright, and I will return from here, okay, person first name. Okay, and this is very important part. When you will return value from your iteration, you will create a new array with the values you are returning from this function. So I can create here a new variable. Okay, so let's say const, and let's say person names list. All right, and we can write debugger here and also debugger after. Okay, so here, and you can guess what we will get here in a person names list. Let's save this. Let's go back to our browsers. Let's refresh and let's see what we'll get. Alright, so you see each iteration, we are iterating over our person. So we are getting person each iteration and we are returning from here first name, person first name. Okay, so this is my first iteration. My second, I will return John. My third iteration, I will return Philip. My fourth iteration, I will return Emma. I will forward this and you will see in the person names list, I will have 4 items of names I returned in each iteration from here. Okay, so this is a very similar function to for each. I'm iterating over my items, but I have an option here to return something from a function and map these values to a new array. Okay? I can return here practically anything. I can say here I want to return here number 1. Alright, so let's return number 1 and you will see your person names list will be filled up with the number 1s. Let's save this. Let's refresh and you will see your person name list will have number 1 here. Okay, so what I'm returning here will get mapped into a new array. Very convenient. Alright, let's go back to our coding editors. And map function is really used a lot in JavaScript with the arrays, because you can map over your original list of items and you can map your items into something else. Right? So in this case, I would like to map over my person objects and I would like to return from here only person first name. Okay, so I will write it as before person first name and I will write also arrow function. So I will comment this one. Let's comment this and let's copy it and let's paste it under. And when I want to have here arrow function, just remove function here. We can remove this bracket since this is only one value here, one parameter here, and let's specify here arrow. We can now just simply remove these curly brackets like this. I can remove return, and you will see how nice it looks now. All right, this is much better as writing here a function. Okay, so we are mapping over a person and each iteration we are returning person first name. Amazing. Alright, let's continue with more example. Now I will show you filter. So we can comment this, alright? And let's get here a person list. Person list, and similarly, you'll use here a filter function. We'll map over our person, so each iteration I will get here person. So let's specify here first function, callback function, and here in argument I will specify here person. Alright, and I will return from here person equals, or rather I will say here person first name equals to Philip. Okay, and now you can guess what will happen here. Okay, and let's assign results from this function to an array called filtered names, like this. All right, let's save this. Let's go back to our browsers, and please guess what we'll get in this new variable. Let's refresh. And let's see, in a filtered names, you will get only 2 items with the first name and last name Philip Jerga, and second item with the first name Philip and last name Smith. So filter function is used for filtering. You need to provide a condition to this function and return from this function true or a false depending on this condition. So here, each iteration, I am checking my person first name, and if my person first name is equal to a Philip, I will return from this function true, and this means I would like to add this item I'm currently iterating over to filtered names. Okay, so let's go back to our coding editors, and of course I can rewrite it. So this is just a shorthand expression, but I can say here, if my person, so person field first name is equal to a Philip, then I would like to return from here true. Otherwise, I would like to return from here false, and this is equally the same as writing this as a one-liner, but I am evaluating this expression on this one line. I don't need to write here any if statement. I'm checking if my person first name is equal to a Philip, then I would like to return from here true or false depending on this. It's the same as writing, I'll show it to you in the browsers, as writing, let's say, I'll create here variable, let's say var name is, let's say, Philip, and I would like to say here name is equal to a Philip. All right, and you can see this will be evaluated immediately to a true or false value. When I will say here if name is equal to Filippo, this will of course equal to a false because my name is Philip. Okay, so this is just a nice one-liner expression, but I would like to show you that this will still work. So let's save this as this. Let's go back to our browsers, and you will see in the filtered names you will get here again these 2 items of my 2 persons with the name of a Philip. Perfect. And we can also write it as a one-liner. So let's rewrite this. Actually, we will rewrite this after this function. First, let's return from here person first name is equal to a Philip. I will comment this out and I copy it. And now under it, let's write arrow representation. So let's remove function, these brackets, let's write here arrow, and we want to return from here only this. Okay, so this is equally the same, and I think this is much better and cleaner. Okay, so here we have functions map, for each, and a filter. These ones are very important functions for arrays, and I think it's very important to understand them, how they work internally. So in the next lecture, we will create prototypes of this function on an array object. So guys, get a nice break, and I hope to see you in the next lecture where we will create these new functions. So see you there, guys. Cheers.